tell me you're too blind to see. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We are the ones who don't know what we're fighting for. Give us a gun and send us all off to war. We are the ones who grow up in violent homes. We are the ones who don't know what's right or wrong. I know. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck no more. No more. We are the ones who don't know why we're losing score. Give them a badge so they could send us to the morgue. We are the ones who are scared to walk out the door. We are the ones who don't know what we're dying for. I know. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck now. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck no more. No. Get off this fucking neck. Love that makes you know. Can't fucking breathe. Love that makes you know. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck now. We are the ones who were born into war. We are the ones who just don't give a fuck no more.
Warning: this podcast features adult subject matter, adult language, and things not meant for children to hear. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been warned. If it's Thursday, hello, puppet. Did you miss me? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of appropriate ages, to the latest episode of the I'm No Joe podcast, the show where every armchair quarterback can feel like Captain Jack Sparrow. Wink. Today, as like most days, I have got a glorious panel here with me to break down all the shit talk and the shenanigans, the fight announcements, and the fuckery that has fallen out of the MMA pipeline since we saw you wonderful folks last. But before we get into all of that, first and foremost, gentlemen, how the hell are you doing over there?
Fucking tired, but we got a much better card than last weekend. In fact, last weekend was so bad, I didn't even bother to try to remember to put in my picks. There's a little foreshadowing for later.
I was gonna say Golf T pulled a meter/Don last week. It was such a rough week for him.
Shit, I didn't even pay enough attention to realize that. I did pretty good though. I didn't expect to. I thought I would do shit, and I wound up fucking surprising myself. It is what it is. I'm doing fairly decent compared to most weeks. Not as fucking tired as normal, and I'm glad I'm being able to be here with you boys. Not feeling like I'm gonna pass out.
Good deal. Good deal. So, that being said, we're going to dive right into it here. First and foremost, kicking things off the way we like to, a little bit of news and recent events, fight announcements, fight cancellations, relevant fights that you need to be aware of taking place, getting canceled, rumors that have been put to rest or confirmed, whatever the case may be, all the relevant news that you need to be aware of for this week in combat sports. So, unfortunately, this week, as like most weeks, we start by tying back to some crazy shit that did happen, or in this case, didn't happen last week. Unfortunately, after making weight, the Iron Turtle himself, Jun Young Park, was actually not medically cleared to fight. So at the very last minute, after weigh-ins had already been done, both men made weight. The co-main event of the fucking card was chopped out, as if last week's card needed more help getting fucking hurt. They lost the co-main event right out of the fucking gate, which just set the entire tone for the card, so to speak. Another, I will say, interesting fact from last weekend. Despite the fuckery and the circus that did happen over there, there was one interesting thing that popped out of that, and that was Mike Perry announced the launch of his very own Dirty Boxing Championship hybrid rules organization, 5-ounce MMA gloves with punches and elbows allowed, no kicks, no takedowns, but ground and pound allowed from the feet to finish a fight. Very interesting hybrid rule set. I'm kind of into it. There's bare knuckle MMA going on right now. Masvidal's got that locked down. So there's plenty of room for different types of hybrid rule sets like this. If Perry can pull it off, it might be interesting to see. I'm not 100% confident it's going to make it, but at this point, if Power Slap can do the hundreds of millions of views, it does. I'm saying with air quotes for those of you just listening. I have no doubt that Dirty Boxing Championship should be able to pull a decent fare of the market here. That being said, tying back in closer to this weekend's bullshit and fuckery, I'm not 100% certain if it was this morning or yesterday morning, because they're over on the other side of the planet. But this morning over here, we got the news that Mohamed Mokaev and Manel Kopp had officially, with their teams, gotten into a little kerfuffle in front of the Fighter Hotel yesterday in Manchester. Just the latest in a long line of fuckery, but it did, to the credit of the UFC, result in both of those dumbasses getting pulled from the UFC press conference, or the media day that they did, which I thought was a smart fucking move and not playing on that type of bullshit, which the UFC absolutely loves and eats up. I will say the videos that are out there don't show the beginning of the situation all said and done, but there are multiple people who were there without cameras saying that Mohamed Mokaev came up to Manel Kopp saying that he wanted to squash the beef that had started at the UFC PI back in Vegas a couple of weeks ago. And then when Manel Kopp turned to, essentially take a selfie with him, Mokaev sucker punched him in the face, which is where you see the video that everyone sees, where both teams jump in from both sides and everyone gets separated. Security jumps in, blah, blah, blah. This has been repeated almost verbatim for several people who were on the ground, just not officially said yet. If that turns out to be the case, I think that's grounds to cut both of these fucking clowns. Kopp has done this more than one time, and then allegedly went after Mokaev at the PI, which is what allegedly started all this shit. So the fact that they were willing to turn around and go do it back at his hometown, 2 days before they're going to get paid to fucking put the gloves on and fight anyway. If any of that turns out to be true, I think we can just send both of these clowns up the river and be done with that circus altogether. It's a bad look, to say the very fucking least. That being said, those of them that were allowed to go to the media day and the press conference deal that they just got done with this afternoon would have seen that King Green pulled a Mike Bottom from UFC 303 and talked Dana into. He tried to play it off like he asked Leon, but we all know that Dana was the one who made the decision. King Green essentially talked Dana into making the post-fight bonuses for UFC 304 $100,000 instead of the standard $50,000. Now, whether that means they're going to just give performance bonuses and no fight of the night, or they're going to do the whole rigmarole, or one performance bonus and one fight of the night, which we've seen them do when they up the bonuses like this as well, we don't know. But at least at this point, Dana did confirm he's going to give them $100,000 performance bonuses at UFC 304. So that's something. That being said, we did get a couple of interesting fight announcements this week here. The first one has been a rumor that unfortunately did get confirmed this week. Raul Rosas Jr. is going to get his fucking wish for some stupid reason. They are going to put him on that UFC 306 card at the Sphere September 14th against Arichi Lang. I don't know how excited I can even pretend to get about that fight, because while Arichi Lang does have decent stand-up, we've also seen him taken down and had his way with by nobodies. And then a kid, even with minor prospect like Rosas, we already know how that fight's gonna fucking go, and I'm not even a little bit excited for it. The kid got his fucking wish. He's gonna get it easy, loft fucking softball pitch thrown to him on top of that. So what the fuck ever, it is what it is. We can't do much about it at this point, so we just move the fuck on. That being said, we got a couple of interesting announcements from October here. The first one, UFC 307, which at this point is rumored to be taking place in Salt Lake City, but has not officially been confirmed yet. There are some unofficial, I say with air quotes, press out there and media things out there that are saying UFC 307 Salt Lake City, but the UFC hasn't officially confirmed it yet. We do have a couple of interesting fights that got announced this week for that card, though. The first one, Marina Rodriguez versus Yasmin Lucinda, which I am very fucking stoked for. We have been banging the fucking drum for Yasmin Lucinda since we first got a glimpse at her. She is just an unbelievable fucking prospect that I don't believe has had enough opportunity to show what she's really fucking capable of. And Marina Rodriguez is essentially fucking battle tested at this point. She might not be the champ, but she has been there and done that and stood the test of time at this point. She's essentially a top 5 gatekeeper on the ladies' side of things, for lack of a better term. And if Yasmin Lucinda can get past her this early into her UFC run, sky's the fucking limit. You better start spit polishing that fucking belt for her now if she can walk through Rodriguez. So I'm just saying, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I'm saying if that's what does happen, you already know that fucking rockets get strapped to her back and she's going straight to the goddamn top, and I'll be fucking here for it, waving my little flag, smiling like an idiot. I don't care. That being said, the other fight that they have added to UFC 307 this week, a little more interesting. Not the fight that I think anyone was really anticipating, but to a certain degree, it was kind of on the radar. It has been called for at least by half of this matchup, and it was officially confirmed yesterday that Aljamain Sterling, is officially going to take on Movsar Evloev at 145 pounds at UFC 307 October 5th, prospectively in Salt Lake City here. I really kind of hope that I know that there's a lot of reasons that people don't want to see it, but I think there's even more reasons people do want to see the Evloev versus Diego Lopez fight at the Sphere. Lopez has been calling for that fight forever. Now Evloev is calling for Lopez to shoes on the other foot. Diego can look like the fucking hero, show up, beat his ass at the Sphere, and come out looking, like an absolute fucking stud. The only reason I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they haven't made that fight and they allowed Evloev to go fight Aljo is that maybe they're going to run it back like a lot of us wanted to see with that fucking Dan Ige fight. Maybe even let him do a 5-round fucking co-main event, because we all know fucking O'Malley doesn't deserve to be the fucking co-main. Let fucking Max and Ilya, if that's what they're going to do, be the main event. Let Diego and Dan Ige take that 5-round co-main event. Let it at least be a little bit fucking Mexican Independence Day celebrating. But UFC is going to UFC, so we know they're going to fuck that all up anyway. But anyway, wishful fucking thinking on my part. That being said, a little bit after that, 2 weeks later, October 19th, we got word directly from the horse's mouth himself Francis Ngannou says that the PFL is currently in negotiations right now with Renan Ferreira to be his first opponent coming back to MMA. October 19th is a lot sooner than anybody thought that this was going to be. Everybody thought he was going to go back and box again first, but if Francis is ready to climb back into the fucking cage and over into PFL no less and take on somebody we know legitimately as dangerous as Renan Ferreira, this could tell us a lot more than anybody anticipated on all sides of the Ngannou story here. So I'm interested to see if they can get that deal done, and if they can, how that fight comes out for both of those gentlemen, because that's fucking huge for PFL, for MMA, for everything involved here. So interested to see how that one plays out. Last fight I've got here for this week, November 16th, over on the other side of the house, Bellator Paris will take place, and we now know what its main event is going to be. Patchy Mix is officially going to be defending his belt against Leandro Higo. I'm not 100% sure meritocratically how they can square that circle with Higo getting the title shot here. I'm guessing other people are injured because there are several people above him, as demonstrated by the Grand Prix that Bellator put on not that long ago. But props to Higo for getting his shot. I don't know if it's going to go well for him. I hope he's eating his fucking Wheaties and doing his homework, because Patchy Mix is no walk in the fucking park, especially with the trouble we saw Higo already have in that tournament. But interesting main event for Bellator Paris. I'm here for it. We'll see how it plays out. Last one I've got for this week is probably the biggest combat sports news we have gotten, honestly, I'm going to say in 2024 so far. At least relevancy wise, in terms of actually applying to fights. Like, this will have an application this weekend in the fights that we watch. The ABC, the American Boxing Commission, has somehow miraculously used both hands, grabbed its own t-shirt collar firmly, and pulled its head from betwixt its own ass cheeks, and finally overturned the 12-6 elbow rule. Senator John McCain, I know, is rolling in his fucking grave right now, mumbling about human cockfighting, and I don't give a shit. That rule should have never been fucking implemented. It was based off of stuff they saw in movies. Genuinely, go watch the trial, or the fucking speeches before Congress. I'm not joking. It should have never been implemented to begin with. The fact that it is finally fucking gone, yes, I'm here for it. Let those men 12-6. On the same token, John Jones can stuff that bullshit directly up his ass with both of his size 84 fucking reach mitts. When your loss was a loss, it was because you broke a rule at the time. Just because that rule has since been amended does not mean at the time you knowingly broke the rule, it was not a rule. So fuck you, John. I'm not playing that fucking game. That being said, the other half of the ABC's big announcement, after getting rid of fucking 12-6, which let's fucking go, they have officially clarified the definition of a down fighter in terms of being eligible to be kneed or kicked. It used to be one hand down plus 1 foot down, or one elbow and the sole of a foot. For a while there, it was the toes and then an elbow, or at least one hand. Well, that's all been clarified now. As of right now, it is anything or any part of the body other than the hand and foot on the ground at the same time defines the fighter as down, whether that is their leg, whether that is their arm, whether that is the palm of their hand, and then the side of their foot because they've got one leg fucking combat stretched out like they're doing ballet. They're a down fucking fighter, and that is easy to enforce. Now, that will not solve the problem of assholes trying to find a way to play the game with being a down fighter or not, because we've already seen with the more clarified rules we're working with in terms of that now, people all the fucking time will play with that shit. So I have no doubt people are going to try and find the loopholes to yank you up from the ground or whatever the fucking case may be. But the fact that ABC went so far as to clarify that while they're getting rid of 12-6 at the same time, rather, golf clap. Well done. It took long enough, and apparently it took Andy Foster literally raising his voice in the meeting to demand the vote. But you know what? They fucking got it done, and that's the most that the ABC has done beneficially in terms of MMA in a long fucking time. Now let's see that shit put into practice, and let's see this trend keep going. Use logic, make everything better for everyone, and everyone fucking wins. That being said, that's what I've got for this week. Either one of you gentlemen have anything I might have missed?
Nada.
All right. That being said, I am going to run down the combat sports menu for the week real quick right now, because even when I did the fucking show by myself, I still fucking forgot. So I'm remembering this week. God damn it. We're doing that shit right up front. So for those of you wondering what all is going on this weekend, obviously there's more than just UFC 304. We will be talking about that more in just a little bit, but I like to give you guys an idea of exactly what all there is out there. And this weekend, we don't have a lot, but we've got more than just UFC. So as is the case most weekends, starting bright and early, first thing tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Central Standard. One Friday fights 72. We have got 10 Muay Thai fights. We have got one grappling fight, one MMA fight. Remember, they do Muay Thai and fucking combat sports gloves. So different shit. Interesting matchup. Combat sports with breakfast. You can't really go wrong. Kicking back over to Saturday to start off the combat sports. 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. Joe Joyce versus Derek Chisora. Interesting boxing card from the O2 Arena over there in London, England, getting all the fun this weekend here. There's a couple matchups on that card that are going to be worth watching, in my opinion. May have some interesting relevancy going forward, considering what all's happening in the boxing world. That being said, that will be followed up by, of course, UFC 304 live from Manchester, kicking off at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the US. That's right, they are running them late over in England so that they are normal time here in the US this week. And boy, is there lots of people with opinions about that. But that being said, that is not the final combat sports card for the weekend, because later on Saturday evening, kicking off at 1 a.m. Eastern, midnight Central Standard Time, Saturday night / Sunday morning, Super Ryzen 3 takes place. This is a mix mash of holy shit going on over at the Saitama Super Arena in Japan. This is the fight card where several BKFC fighters have been brought over to take on several of the Ryzen fighters. Some of them are allegedly going to be fighting in bare knuckle. Some of them are going to be putting on MMA gloves, but keeping it as a boxing match. Also, the big draw, I say with air quotes, is that this is the card that Manny Pacquiao is fighting on. And as if that fight wasn't already tough enough to sell, they have already had a last minute replacement, because the gentleman that he was originally going to fight has already dropped out, and they had to get a last minute step in for him. So Pacquiao is still going to be on this card, but just not in anything anyone's going to be excited about. Honestly, probably the biggest fights on the card are going to be John the Magician Dodson stepping over there to kick some ass and hopefully take some names. And then what is going to be one of the most watched fights, I'm guessing, on the internet here, Ty Emery, the girl whose claim to fame I need not repeat, taking on Carissa Segala from the BKFC, whose best assets are most definitely not her personality or her right and left hook. So there is that. Like I said, I try and keep it honest with you guys. But that being said, that will bring us to the point here. Most podcasts, you're going to get some kind of a B-roll ad for some bullshit, product that nobody on the podcast actually uses. The company doesn't even know anybody on the fucking show, and we don't roll like that. Around here, the I'm No Joe podcast is brought to you by viewers like you. Patreon.com/I'm No Joe. Little as $1 a month. You help us do what we do around here. We put your name at the end of every broadcast that rolls out on this channel to let everyone know how awesome you are for helping us out. It also gets you unairable unfettered access to the behind the scenes nonsense and the shit that we literally just can't put out there to the general public. Kind of some of the stuff that might have got us booted off OnlyFans allegedly. I'm just saying there's fun fuckery to be had. If you help us, we give you a little bit back in return. So that being said, this will bring us to the point where if you've been watching combat sports as long as some of us have, you start to learn what you like, when it comes on, how you can watch it, and you inevitably start to develop some metaphorical blinders and lose the forest for the trees, as it were. Luckily for us here on the show, we've got ourselves a bona fide young person who's just vigilantly out there, ever so delicately fingering the pulse of the MMA world to help keep us abreast of all the names that are going to be names before they get to be names in a little segment that we like to call Slows, Cans, and Contenders.
Appreciate you, brother. So there's definitely a few fucking cans in the mix of this card this weekend. It's a lot better than what we've had in a fucking minute, for sure. This card is definitely going to be decent. There's a lot of fights I am fucking looking forward to. But we got to talk about these cans. The easy one is Manel Kape, man. Manel Kape's an obvious one, but I don't know about throwing Mokaev in the can. I liked what you said, but him doing that stupid shit, it immediately throws him in the can tender spot for me. Because then you're on the fence. You've been doing well enough throughout your career in the UFC. He's still extremely young, 23 years old, but he's been getting decisions more than the finishes. And that's what's kind of been holding him back from already getting that title shot. Like Steve Erceg went and got, that dude had a few fights. He's knocking guys the fuck out that give him the chance. That gotta be an exciting dude that fans want to get behind. That's not something fans can get behind. You automatically throw yourself on the fucking fence, especially he loses to Manel Kape. You're fucked. Whether you're young or not, you pretty much just fucked yourself. But for sure, you got to throw Kape in there. Honestly, you throw the fight in there as a whole now. I wasn't really excited about that fight anyways. I felt like Mokaev gets the win and probably be another fucking decision where he just really kind of drapes all over Manel Kape for 15 minutes, and it's just not the greatest thing to watch. I still kind of expect that. If this fight even happens, there's the other thing. Manel Kape probably miss weight a fucking game. And then you may not even get the damn fight. But then you got this shit. They're fighting in the motherfucking hotel lobby. That could stop the fight too, you dumbasses. And it's a big old mess. Throw the shit in the can. Lucas Brzeski. Throw that motherfucker in the can. I've been talking about this for a while. Dude got his way in the UFC off of fucking roids. Literally popped hot for fucking steroids off his Contender Series fight. Whether he got a knockout or not, he's fucking juicing up to get those knockouts. And ever since he's gotten the UFC, he's had one shitty ass win. He's 1-3. There's no reason for this dude to still be here. It's really, that's how I look at it. It's just a way for Mick Parkin to look good here in England. Because that kid, I feel like, has a lot of potential and he's undefeated, but he has not gotten a finish yet in his UFC career. As good as he has that potential, he hasn't fully blossomed yet, at this higher level of competition. You'd like to see some fucking young heavyweights really start to come out. This light heavyweight division needs some help. I've got Mick Parkin in my fucking contender spot. I'm still feeling like that kid can do something, but you got to start getting those finishes, especially a heavyweight. There's nobody wants to watch the Walruses fucking slap each other around. Bruna Brazil. I also got to throw her in the can. This is another one of those situations I feel like to throw Molly McCann an easy one, which I'm fine with. I like Meatball. It's going to be fun. The crowd's going to be behind her. She's probably going to get that finish, and it's going to be a good time. Bruna Brazil has been pretty shitty looking since she got in the UFC. She had a good contender spot to get herself in there, but, it just hadn't looked good since. Got to throw her in the can. Jake Hadley, I'd honestly throw him the fucking can. The Loughran and Hadley fight as a whole, I honestly not looking forward to at all. But Jake Hadley, respect to him for taking the fight on short notice. And you're going up a weight class. You're still giving them a fight. He's technically an Englishman, so he's kind of got the home crowd behind him. But he's been pretty hot and cold since he got in the UFC. So I throw that one in the trash. And Curse Blades, man. Finish off my cans. You just got to be honest. Kind of like him as a person. He seems like a really nice guy. And he's had some decent moments as a fighter. But at the end of the day, like as a heavyweight, we don't need wrestlers or dudes trying to wrestle. It's the same thing that I was saying about walrus slap fights. We damn sure don't want to see almost 300-pound dudes hugging each other for 15 minutes. He did actually finish Halton Almeida in his last fight. There's no hope in hell for him this weekend. All I see is him getting destroyed. So even if he somehow miraculously wins this week, there's no way in hell he's ever going to fight John Jones. He's never going to get a heavyweight championship opportunity. Dude, just gotta throw him in the can. My can tenders, I like I said, gotta move Mokayev over there. He's now on the fence after this shit. You better do something really fucking special and just really dust Manel Kopp's ass to kind of save you from the bullshit you pulled. But Nathaniel Wood and Molly McCann are my other Schrodinger's can tenders for this card. Molly McCann, I feel like, is finally in her correct weight class. She looks great now. Like, now that she's coming into her second fight, she seems like she's dealing with it a lot better, where that first fight, she was kind of having a rough go of making the weight, but she did it. She looked good, but even if she was fighting a can. She's fighting another can. They're throwing her an easy one. She'll probably never have a title run. We know it, but she's a fun fighter to watch. I'm here for it. She's one of those ladies that goes out there and actually tries to throw down. She's not fucking afraid to lose the fight. She's going to go out there and put on the show. That's good shit. We don't get a ton of ladies' fights where they actually go out there and try to hurt each other, like genuinely. So it's always fun to see. So she's on the fence. She got that opportunity to continue to be exciting, especially with those damn England cards. They're going to continue to get. They've been going there for the past couple of years, and with how good they always do, they're going to keep on going there. Nate Wood, though, losing his last fight, had a few fucking wins in a row before him. See if he can bounce back. He's been a little back and forth in his career with kids still young. He's also dealt with a lot of injuries. Still feel like he's got some potential, especially at featherweight. We'll see. That's the best thing I can say. He's on the fence. We'll see if he can work his way back in. Daniel Pineda's on the old side of things, and he's been wishy-washy too. But the dude is fucking exciting. You can't lie. I mean, every fucking win he's gotten a finish in. So it'll be something if Nate Wood gets the win. Probably. Right? That's one fight I am looking forward to being more exciting. As for my contenders, I've got two fights. These are the two fights I'm really looking forward to. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Gregory Rodriguez. RoboCop and Duncan, man, I feel like those two middleweights are going to throw the hell down. Christian Leroy Duncan has looked fucking good so far coming to the UFC. The kid has some height to him. He has some range. I feel like that could give RoboCop trouble, but he has shown he is tough as fucking nails. You have literally got to put that man to fucking sleep. And that's what excites me about that fight. These two middleweights are going to go out there, throw those fucking hands, and I feel like somebody's going to fall. If Christian Leroy Duncan goes out there and puts RoboCop down, that definitely sets that kid up. He's probably going to work his way in the top 15 real soon. Kid's young. He's fun. He's exciting. He's my real contender there. But RoboCop, he's been fun and exciting too so far in his UFC career. He's that get or get got kind of guy, but he can throw himself right back in the mix of fucking getting into some rankings if he goes and beats this young kid. That's a fun ass fight. Then the one I'm the most excited about, Arnold Allen versus Giga Chikadze. Like, Arnold Allen needs a bounce back win, and this is why I'm excited about this fight. Giga is actually a really good fighter. He's a damn good striker. If those two stay on the fucking feet, that fight's going to be fun as hell. And then if Arnold Allen winds up winning it, I'm going to be fucking loving it. is just going to be crazy, right? His last couple fights, he's lost to some really good dudes, Max Holloway, Movsar Evloev. I thought that fight was really close, even if he lost it. Hope he gets the bounce back there, but I'm really excited for that one. I talk about Mick Parkin, hoping that heavyweight kid fucking gets himself a finish and starts to really bring it together. I had put Mokaev in there. Like you said, shifting him over. Didn't know about the whole clash of shit in the hotel after that. Just bad luck. To finish my contender spot off with the obvious of all obvious. The dude is the true heavyweight champion in my eyes. Tommy fucking Aspinall. He's got to be the contender on this entire card. There's no way in hell in my eyes that Curtis Blades does anything to him in this fight. He is so athletic. He is so fast. As long as Tom stays healthy, and I'm literally knocking on wood right now, like literally, good God in hell. Not again, right? I'm still knocking on wood as I'm talking about it because I ain't trying to jinx shit. But that's it. That's the only thing. That's how Curtis won the first fight. It ain't a win. It's technically on the record. But we all know it's not a fucking win. We didn't even get a fight. We got one kick thrown and Tom fucking tore his knee. And everything was over. And Curtis tried to say that he was getting a feel for shit. Oh my God, when I heard that this week, I was getting a feel for it out there. Come on, man, dude. 18 seconds. Tom throws a fucking kick towards your body. I was getting a feel for it. Oh, God. Yeah, just one exciting ass thing. I know Tom's going to fucking get that win. He's probably going to do it in spectacular fashion. And we all know John Jones is just a pussy for not taking that fight. Shouldn't even be fighting Steve A later this year. Literally, like, especially Tom goes out here, first round, just obliterates fucking Blades. Why the fuck are we not getting Aspinall versus John Jones in November? If John is actually going to fight, just fuck you. He's the interim champion. Nothing means anything. And I love Stipe. Like, I was talking to Vincent earlier today. That's my dream fight. They do that because they're going to do that shit. They're so adamant about it that Stipe beats his ass just to give a fuck you to John and the UFC, and then we get Stipe and Aspinall next year because I'd rather see that fucking fight anyway. For fuck's sake. Yeah. That's what I got. What do you boys got? I know you got cans. I'm excited to see what you got for your contenders. I know you'll agree on Tom Aspinall. That's the easy one.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet, just like everything else I'm doing tonight. The first fucking 7 fights on the card, I'll include the first 8 fights on the card. Can all go into the cans. Take that shit to the recycling center, get rid of all of them. There's nothing on there that interests me in the least. Don't get me wrong, I did want to watch Mokaev until I saw the fuckery that dumbass got himself into. Now, he's a piece of shit just as bad as a wife beater in my eyes. You're going to do that shit outside when you're already getting paid to punch the guy in a sanctioned event? Go die in a fire. Jump in front of a moving bus. Do us all a favor so we don't have to possibly have this fight canceled because the commission steps in and says, yeah, no, you fucked around, found out, and we're losing what could have been a decent fight. We don't know if that's going to happen. That still could happen to this point. We don't fucking know. Whatever happens, I hope they find the ever-living fuck out of him, and if he does win this fight, they take his entire fucking purse. Don't play stupid games. It's just not acceptable. I don't care about the Hadley and Laughlin fight. Short notice, up a weight class, fucking goofy ass looking Irish motherfucker. Because he is built funny. He looks like what's the nicest way to put this? A fetal alcohol syndrome baby.
Oh, that's good shit. Yeah, like I said, that shit's definitely going in the can. I'm not here for that fight at all.
It's fucking terrible. To be honest, the entirety of the main card's decent. Decent, I say. because why in the who fucking wants to watch? I'm gonna call him Bobby Green because he's not getting name changed for me. Fuck that nonsense. Go out and do some dumb shit like that. Want to be hood somewhere else, but don't make it legal because I'm not playing your stupid games. Like, you want to be a girl, be a girl. That doesn't mean I'm playing your games and saying you don't have a dick. Also, Patty Pimblett is a fucking mouthy cunt just as bad as fucking Bobby Green is. So the two of them together should be on the fucking prelims. Nobody cares. I would much rather put fucking Molly McCann on the fucking main card over that fucking fight. And that's saying something because, well, Molly McCann's a can too. It's directly in her fucking name. You can't miss it. Yeah, she had a couple fucking wild knockouts, but that was also them feeding her cans. You feed the can a can, one of the cans has to get dented further. That's all there is to it. Definitely most exciting fight of the night, me, is gonna be watching Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blades. And I say that because I'm pretty sure Tommy Aspinall is not showing it right now, but I'm pretty sure he's pissed about the way the first one went down. And he's gonna come out to snuff out fucking Curtis Blades and just be done with that nonsense and move on with life. Now, the main event, that can die in a fire too. That is the eye poke from hell that nobody wants the rematch of. But unfortunately, because Bilal has continued to fucking win, we have to watch this fuckery and listen to them call each other smelly vaginas on fucking the Embedded series. Who cares? Both of them. I don't care. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but anything that comes out of Chicago, I'm not a fan of. So Bilal can die in fire. There's an exception to policy. There is an exception to policy. But I'm just saying, there, as a majority whole, 99.9% of things that come out of Chicago or Illinois as a whole can get run over by a truck, including that fucking hat. Leon Edwards, nobody gives a shit that your brother told you to throw the cross kick. Nobody cares. Move along, sir. Move along. The welterweight division, it's fucking terrible. I'll call it as I see it. The welterweight division is fucking terrible. There's nothing about the welterweight division right now that excites me. This included. To be honest, I think Tom Aspinall should have the main event here. He's a bigger draw than Leon Edwards any day of the fucking week.
I completely agree with you, brother. Fucking that Patty and Bobby fight, definitely misplaced. I hope Bobby beats the fuck out of the kid, but that's about as far as that one goes. Damn sure agree with you on the main event. Bilal is the cringiest motherfucker in the world. Coming out this week trying to say he beats Leon Edwards. He's right there behind GSP as the greatest welterweight of all time. Motherfucker can eat a bag of dicks. Oh man, that's another situation.
I
Just hope that one can go that way and he gets put the fuck out too.
I
That's the
think
best.
the worst part of that, of the Bilal thing for me, is continue to stuff down everybody's throat that you're Muslim. I don't give a fuck what religion you are. You're a goddamn fighter. Your religion doesn't make a goddamn bit of difference to me. However, there is a slight bit of resentment towards quite a few Muslims because of my background. I don't hate them all, but he's really making me want to hate Muslims again. And I don't want to be that guy. I'm just saying, don't be a twat waffle and ruin it for your entire religion.
Always one. Everybody's got to always one. You know, I agree for the most part with the vast majority of what you guys have picked down here. This card, I was literally talking to a buddy of mine who doesn't know shit about fights that asked me, you know, what is there to look forward to this weekend? And I was like, well, honestly, there's a lot of what we lovingly refer to as contractual obligation fights. This happens when the UFC goes anywhere. When they go to a specific state here in the US, they load up the card that aren't the big fights, aren't the main event, the co-main event, with people from that area, guys making their debut, guys who are from, you know, near where they're going to. When they go to other countries, they pull guys from the local talent. They let guys make their debut that are from the area, guys that they've signed that are, from within 100 or a couple hundred miles to keep it, local flavored. This is no exception. This card, top to bottom, has just got a giant fucking Old Glory hanging across it here. This has got the fucking Union Jack just slapped across it with a fucking giant roller brush. This is a UK showcase type of card. The problem is most of the fights on this card aren't really that much of a showcase UK kind of fight. There's a lot of UK fighters, yes, but there's not a lot of great matchups. Now, to be fair, obviously, when there's two titles on any card, there are relevancy here. The problem in this particular case is that in our co-main event, they're forcing Tom Aspinall to defend the interim belt because John is pulling his bullshit. Hashtag chickens can't be goats. Go fuck yourself, John. They're forcing Tom Aspinall to defend an interim belt rather than unifying it. The only purpose an interim belt is supposed to fucking serve. So this fight, on top of everything else, means absolutely fucking nothing. Like Chris mentioned earlier here, the fact that Curtis is actually trying to play it off like he was doing something in the first 29-second fight or whatever the fuck it was before Tom threw a kick and blew his knee out immediately is just absolutely ridiculous. The fact the UFC is making them run this back is absolutely ridiculous. But I think the biggest beef that I have with the co-main event itself is the fact that Curtis Blades sat down in front of a fucking camera yesterday and said, as soon as that bell rings, I'm going to immediately shoot for a takedown and put him on his back and let him know I'm the better wrestler. And then he's going to stay there till I'm done with it. Has no one shown Curtis Blades his fight with Derek Lewis? Do you think Derek Lewis is faster or knees harder than Tom Aspinall does? Because I sure the fuck do not. The fact that you've even planted the seed that that's a possibility, I've been saying for weeks that I thought that that's exactly what Curtis was going to do because he thought that he could get away with that shit against Derek because Derek is quote unquote a lazy wrestler or a lazy grappler. Fair assessment. To think that somebody like Tom Aspinall, who's been doing jiu-jitsu since he was 6 years old in his fucking garage, is going to be a lazy heavyweight grappler and then tell him you're going to shoot immediately? Are you fucking dumb? Are you still concussed from that Derek Lewis knee? Because that's exactly what I see happening if we don't get a heavyweight Jorge Masvidal Ben Askren. Just running, flying knee that motherfucker into next Thursday and let's all be done with it. Set a new goddamn record. Let's fucking, make some history here. Shit. Like, I'm here for Tommy Aspinall being the company man and doing whatever they ask him to do. The fact that this is what they have asked him to do and put him in the corner to do this shit at home with all that pressure on top of it is just fucking dumb in my opinion. So I'm willing to publicly shit all over that fight for the UFC's sake of it. And Curtis isn't doing himself any favors. That being said, I've got to agree. CLD versus RoboCop has got fight of the night, just neon flashing fucking sparkles written all over it. I'm telling you right now, between that and Arnold Allen versus Giga, you're going to have to try to steal fight of the night between those two, in my opinion. Those two, no matter how they play out, have excitement possibilities for both fights wherever they end up going. I'm all in for that. 100% agree. Molly McFucking Can is getting, like I said, they're offering up another fucking sacrificial can to the shrine that is Molly, because when she gets big knockouts in England, she runs around and lights the entire fucking building on fire. And that's exactly what I'm anticipating here. I don't know if she's going to get another Carolina style fucking spinning elbow, but Bruna Brazil is a laughable fucking opponent to put against Molly, even, as cannish as she may be. I will say there is one fight on this card that no one has mentioned that I, for my own perverted fucking ways, am extremely intrigued in. And it's not because it's relevant and it's not because it's big fucking names, but it's because both of the people in this fight at one point were touted fucking prospects. And we have seen both of them just... And this is a race to the bottom, in my opinion. So it's, like I said, it's my own sick perversion that I watch it. I hold no bones about it. I'm a petty bitch. But Modestas Bukauskas versus Marcin Prachnio. Both of these dudes came into the UFC with the biggest, most bolsterous fucking hype trains you can imagine. And both of them have pulled their dicks out and just tied it to their ankle and played jump rope with it. It's not been good for either one of these gentlemen. And I'm just morbidly curious to see if either one of them can really pull it together enough to get a big finish and maybe get the other walking papers and save their own fucking job. Because a bad loss, in my opinion, either one of them is justified getting fucking cut. So it's almost a loser leaves town kind of match for me, because I think with a bad loss, it will be. That being said, I think you guys nailed it on the head. I think you guys knocked it out of the park. I think we're in for an interesting card, but it's just that interesting.
Definitely some shining lights, but both of you boys hit it on the head. There's not too much to love. Just a few things. Appreciate you both.
Thank you very much, sir. Much appreciated. So that will bring us to the only segment of the show that actually does require its own individual disclaimer. So if you will. Tapology.com does not in any way, shape, or form support, sponsor, or endorse the I'm No Joe podcast. Yet. That being said, Tapology does offer you the option to go onto their site, create a free account, and make fantasy-style MMA picks like we do here on the show. They even let you link groups on there. So we made one. We call it I'm No Bookie, all one word, or group 965, however you need to find it. The group is open to the public. You are encouraged and welcome to make yourself an account, join the group, and then let us know who the hell you are so we can hold your picks accountable like we hold ours in a little segment we call Tapology with TJ.
All right. Again, we're going to make this short and sweet. I'm going to jump right into last week, which was, does anybody remember the name of the card? No, because it was fucking terrible. Lemos versus Yanderoba. To be fair, there were quite a few finishes on that card, which was surprising. But nothing was exciting to me. In fact, it was so lackluster, I didn't remember to make picks, and I don't care. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. I'm perfectly all right with it. Now, I could make a different excuse, but it's really not fucking worth it because that card was terrible enough. I just didn't make the fucking picks. Thank God we don't have a fucking current other game going on, so I'm in the fucking clear. That's called my week off. We're back at it this week with 304 going down. So to give kudos where kudos is due. Fucking 8 of 11 cracked Christian fucking coming out and rocking it with 540 fucking points. Don was not too far behind him. 1 pick off, 7 correct. He had a fucking solid week as well. And at 10-point difference. You know what made that 10-point difference between him and Meter? 1 semi-perfect. That's it. That's all it fucking takes. Same amount correct, though. Everybody who did make picks did fairly well, except for Donna. She absolutely shit the bed. 4 of 11 correct and 265 points. Wasn't even halfway there to taking the fucking first. So, as far as points are concerned, Donna obviously tripped over the beef curtains a little bit there, and decided they needed to be squashed. So now, if you're not aware, Tapology is indeed free. So you can go and make yourself a free account on there. Come over and join us, group 965, or I'm No Bookie. We'll tell you when you do well. We'll tell you when you do terrible. We'll also call you out when you don't make picks, like I've called myself out today. We'll also call you out when you're finally smart enough to change your fucking hats to something a little more reasonable during the middle of a show. Now, with all of that being said, move on to the odds for this week. There are quite a few that are outside of the norm this week. And when I say outside of the norm, I'm talking the coin flips that we've been getting a lot of. Now, there are a lot of coin flips on this card, but there are quite a few that are not quite coin flips. So we're going to cover those real quick and kind of just do it as quickly as possible. Mick Parkin, Lucas Brisky, got Parkin coming in as a minus 350 favorite over Lucas at a plus 280 underdog. Oh, moving on from there, you got Kiefer Crosby and Sam Patterson. Patterson coming in as a minus 450 favorite over Kiefer Crosby's a plus 340 underdog. So you got a couple wide ones there on the early portion of the card. And you got a couple other that are fairly wide. Coming into the Molly McCann Bruno Brazil fight. Got Molly getting pitched an absolute softball of a soup can, coming in as a minus 350 favorite, and Brazil as a plus 260 underdog. Makes sense. Not quite as wide as you would think it is, considering the lacklusters that we've seen out of Brazil. But, you know, Molly McCann's second fight in a new weight division, so I guess they took that into account a little bit. Nathaniel Woods, Daniel Pineda. This one kind of threw me a little bit. I thought it might have been a little bit closer, even though Pineda's getting a little bit up there in age. They've got Woods coming in as a minus 450 favorite over Daniel Pineda as a plus 333 underdog. So a little bit wide, but to be honest, I think it could have been a little narrower, but I understand where they're looking at it that way. The next closest one that you're going to get to wide odds before we get to the co-main and main is going to be that Arnold Allen and Giga Chikadze fight, which surprisingly enough, this is pretty close to a coin flip, but I thought it was worth mentioning because it is a pretty exciting fight. Arnold Allen coming in as a minus 225 favorite over a plus 185 in Giga Chikadze. To be honest, I don't think that's going to be a boring fight at all. I think that's mostly going to be standing because we know Arnold likes to box, and well, Giga came from the kickboxing world, so it's going to be a strike slugfest. But we'll see who the best boxer in the UFC is. I can guarantee it's neither one of them motherfuckers, though. If you know, you know. Now, moving on because the rest of the card is fucking coin flips. The co-main in Curtis Blades and Tommy Aspinall. Pretty wide fucking odds here for a co-main event. They've got Tommy Aspinall coming in as a minus 375 favorite over a plus 290 Curtis Blades. Now, do I think the odds are wrong there? No. Do I think they're a little wider than they should be? Maybe because, well, it's heavyweight. You never fucking know with heavyweight, unfortunately. I mean, that's why we got Curtis Blades getting a fucking knockout in the first round in his last time out. It's fucking heavyweight. Everybody has that chance to switch the lights off just because of how big they are. Now, the lackluster, nobody wants to see it main event. Leon Edwards coming in as a minus 275 favorite over Bilal as a plus 210 underdog. To be honest, I'm all right with that, although I think it should be more of a coin flip because chances are Leon's probably going to try to eye poke Bilal again just to even the odds out a little bit. But, you know, maybe that's why they gave him the favorite because they know that's going to happen. So, you know, who fucking knows? But those are your odds this week. Like always, I'm looking at BetMGM stuff. So, depending on where you're looking, your odds are going to vary a little bit one way or another. So, just know that that's the case. And then I think we'll be back next week because there is a card next week if I am not mistaken. We'll have a hangover from what I will call a light lager, if that makes sense. Because that's what I feel like this week is. It's like a light lager. We're not getting a full drink. We're just getting a light. But on the plus side, low calories.
Yeah, next week is UFC Saudi Arabia, so that'll be definitely interesting to see going from UFC 304 into that for sure. But that being said, thank you very much, sir. Always appreciated. So at this point, I do have to apologize to all of the audio only listeners because you guys will not have realized that the vicious gif has rolled across the screen to let all of the live viewers here on YouTube, or even the replay viewers on YouTube rather, know that this is the point in the show where things on the friendly side get turned back and the knob for competitive gets flipped and then broken the fuck off, because this is the point in the show where things go head to head and we make it a little fucking competition. This is the part of the show that we like to call the pit. This is the point where we go head to head, mano a mano, 2-man enter, 1-man leaves, Thunderdome style. We've got UFC 304 on the docket for the weekend. So, gentlemen, are you ready to get it on?
Yep, we're gonna make it short, sweet as possible tonight.
All right. So, Golf T, we're going to give you first up to get this thing rolling this evening here. So, as we like to kick things off around here, every card obviously gets tons of hype, but there's always, well, at least usually, one fight on every card that just doesn't get enough shine for the public. One fight that when you're watching it, you're going to make sure everybody within earshot of you is going to be paying attention. We like to refer to that as the "Hey Mo, get in here" fight. For you, which is the underappreciated fight on this card that needs the love?
I'm taking the low-hanging fruit here. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm perfectly all right with that. But it's Christian Leroy Duncan and Gregory RoboCop Buff Obama Rodriguez. That's right. I'm adding to his fucking nickname because he looks like Buff Obama. There's not been one mention of that fight anywhere. The only place you're finding mentionings of this is on the UFC's homepage. You haven't seen either one of those on the embedded series. What the fuck is going on? That's a really good fucking middleweight fight. You've got a hometown boy in fucking Leroy Duncan representing England. And then you've got old RoboCop who never puts on a boring fight. He either goes out on his shield or it looks like he's going out on his shield and then knocks somebody out or finishes them. So this has excitement written all over it. And the middleweights, they generally don't gas that bad. So I have a feeling we're going to see quite a bit of excitement here. Definitely underhyped.
Definitely understandable. Definitely understandable. You heard my opinions on it earlier. I fucking love that fight. So, yeah, I absolutely agree. That one definitely deserves more love. That will flip this over to the other side of the octagon, as it were, though, here. Christian, for you, sir, this card has plenty of fights that are getting hype, but there's always one that just doesn't get enough. So, for you, sir, which one is the Amo, get in here fight that you make sure everybody pays attention to Saturday?
It's the one that I talked about on my contender segment. It's my favorite of the weekend. Arnold fucking Allen versus Giga Chikadze. This should be the fight in the people's main event, not fucking Bobby Green versus Paddy Pimblett. That, like we were talking about on the segment, shouldn't even be on the main card. This Arnold Allen and Giga fight hasn't really been being talked about the way that it should be, because honestly, after they do the Topuria and Max fight at featherweight, you don't have a ton else like that. That's still a huge fight. That means a lot. Whatever guy comes out on top of that is in a pretty good position to work their way towards a title shot. Because Mavzari Vloyev is just a decision machine at the end of the day. We know that. That's why he's getting to fight Aljamain Sterling. I don't see either one of those guys getting a title shot after the fucking win. It's just the truth. I'm excited as fuck for this fight. Feel like it's definitely one of the most underrated on the card, mainly because of that. Could be a number one contenders fight.
I definitely agree. It definitely has a lot of potential. I don't know about number one contender, but it's definitely relevant more than it's getting credit for. I will say that for damn sure. I will say that. That being said, close scoring here. So we will move on and we will find out total scores at the end. Round two, that will start us off with Christian here. So we will flip things over, opposite side of the coin, as it were. So in this situation, every card has fights that get way too much hype. We've got plenty of those on this card as well. But there is always one that just gets so much shine, it's outshining the rest for no fucking reason here. What is the overhyped fight on this UFC 304 Manchester card for you, Christian?
You could definitely pick a couple of them. But I'm gonna go with what I, flipping the script. We're flipping the script on the question. So what I just fucking mentioned, they're putting it in the people's main event: Bobby Green versus fucking Patty Pimblett. It's beyond belief the overhyped fight. Patty's even fucking said this is the last fight on his contract. This might be your fucking exit. Whether the kid wins or fucking loses. He was talking some shit about fucking boxing YouTubers. So what the fuck is the UFC still putting him in that kind of a spot for? Why the hell are they giving him his custom shorts? Kid's literally threatening to leave. He's trying to get you to pay him fucking more money, and he hasn't really done shit with his fucking career. I mean, come on now. This is beyond belief ridiculous. Just like you guys agreed. Shouldn't even be on the fucking main card. Shouldn't be the fucking featured prelims. Should be deep down in the prelims. And I love Bobby Green. Dude's a fucking legend in the sport. This fucking kid ain't worth shit just because the crowd's going to be fucking chanting his name. It's the only way you can get him to be any sort of anything. You got to take him to England. It's just shit. Big old pile of shit.
Yeah, I agree. I genuinely thought about trying to make a drinking game out of guessing how many of those stupid blonde fucking wigs we're going to see in the audience come Saturday, but I don't want to give anybody liver poisoning. So we decided against that for, I think, the better judgment of society. But that being said, that'll flip us over to the other side here. Golf T, bringing it back to you. On this UFC Manchester 304 card, which one for you is the overhyped, getting way too much fucking love fight this weekend?
Trick question. It's not which fight. It's which two fights. And both of them come out of next gen MMA. So yes, I will piggyback on the co-main event, but also don't forget about the Molly McCann, Brandon Brazil. They've gotten so much fucking coverage on everything. From Embedded to fucking ESPN, everywhere. Neither one of these are worth the fucking price of admission. Neither one of these are worth the price of paying for ESPN Plus. I'm not even talking about the pay-per-view. Neither one of them. Nobody fucking cares. So yeah, trick question. Anything out of next gen MMA. That's how that works.
Fair point. Fair point indeed. Credit where credit is due. Shit can be spotted in that gym heavily, for sure. That being said, though, that will move us along to round 3 here with our close scoring, bringing things back over to Golf T here. So in round 3, as we like to do, it might not be everybody's favorite, but it is officially a thing now. They are making Tommy Aspinall actually defend the fucking interim heavyweight belt. And no less, they are making him defend it against Curtis fucking Blades, as if that fight had any relevancy in its first run through. So I ask you, sir, how do you see our co-main event in Manchester playing out?
One, I'm going to say this is bullshit. This is a farce by the UFC to suck John Jones' dick some more and let him do whatever the fuck he wants and hold up a division that this should be a John Jones fight with Tom Aspinall headlining in fucking Manchester. But no, they want to suck dick. Let the UFC suck dick. But in all seriousness, though, said this earlier. This is a heavyweight fight, so it could go either way. But to be honest, I really think Tom Aspinall is too fucking fast for Curtis Blades. The only fucking answer that Curtis is going to have in this fight is to be able to wrestle fucking. That's the only chance. But Tom Aspinall has been training jiu-jitsu his whole fucking life, so he's got a solid ground game. He knows how to get back up. But that falls under that, can a wrestler stop a jiu-jitsu guy? We've seen that time and time again. And to Curtis's credit, he is one of the best wrestlers in the heavyweight division at the current moment. I'll say there were better wrestlers at one time, but not right now. To be honest, I think Tom Aspinall gets this done quick, fast, and in a hurry. I don't think we see this get outside of 2 rounds. I think Curtis Blades is going to sleep. Just saying, he's gonna take a page out of fucking the Black Beast book, and Curtis is gonna look for a takedown, and then he's gonna get slept on.
Definitely a very, very distinct possibility. I agree with that for damn sure. So that'll bring us back over to the other side of the octagon, as it were here. Christian, in our co-main event, we have got Curtis Blades trying to quote unquote feel it out one more time and see if he can wrestle fuck that interim belt off of Tommy Aspinall's waist. How do you see the co-main event shaken loose when that strap finally gets put back onto somebody's waist at the end of Saturday night?
I see it going kind of opposite of the first fight. It went, what, 18 seconds or so, less than a fucking minute. Tom threw one fucking kick, fight's over. I feel like it'll be similar to some of the finishes we've seen lately. Tom's going to get that revenge, like we talked about earlier. He's going to be a little hungry. He's going to be a little pissed off. He's going to want to get this shit done and get the fuck out of there. And he's going to want to come out clean so that he can at least attempt to fucking steal that John Jones fight, get that real championship, because he is the real champ. I think he's going to fucking light Curtis up. He's going to put him away in under a minute. I don't think Curtis Blades has a chance in hell for shit. I don't think he can even take Tom Aspinall down. And if it gets down to the ground, we've seen Tom is pretty goddamn good there too. I don't see it going anywhere other than just instant finish.
Yeah, no, I agree. I said earlier, I think there's a real good chance that we maybe get that fucking heavyweight Jorge Masvidal, Ben Askren, fingers fucking crossed, flying knee, open up, finished fight, done. Let's go home. But no, I don't think this fight sees the judges' scorecards. Either way it plays out. I think if Curtis actually sticks to the game plan he's talking about and tries to shoot right out the gate, I think Tommy Aspinall is going to Derek Lewis him again. If he doesn't, though, I still think Tommy Aspinall has the all-around skills to pretty much get it done. Like TJ said, I don't know if it gets done in the second, but I don't think we see the end of the third round. If it goes to 3, I think we're out before 3 one way or another here, and Tommy goes home and still, in my opinion. So we'll see. We'll see how that one plays out. But that will flip us here to the other side. Christian, we will start with you here, flipping over to the kickoff of the evening, the rematch, I should say the other rematch that no one asked for here. Leon Edwards versus Bilal, remember the eye poke Mohammed. It's gonna technically happen whether we like it or not, unless something really fucking weird happens between now and Saturday. So I'm curious, how do you think we see that main event end for UFC 304?
Similar to what I just said about Tom. It's not just a hope with this fight. Bilal Muhammad has been on a decent win streak, but this dude is a decision machine throughout his career, and he's one of the cringiest motherfuckers in the world. I really feel like Leon getting this meme of the headshot dead, we're going to see it again. That's how he won the title. And I feel like he's going to fucking knock Bilal Muhammad out. I don't know if he's going to do it as quick as I think Tom Aspinall is going to do it, but I don't see Bilal Muhammad winning this fight or making it through 5 rounds. Just like they were talking about in the press conference, Leon is the better striker beyond belief. He's probably going to set up quite a few traps, and Bilal's going to fall into some shit. If he cannot get Leon down to the ground, which he's shown, he's worked on that damn takedown defense a lot. That's how he beat Kamaru's ass in the second fight and just whooped Colby's ass last year. I just don't see any way in hell how a dude that is so far behind those guys' level in Bilal Muhammad is going to somehow then going to beat a guy like Leon Edwards. It's just another easy one. Not looking forward to the fight if Leon doesn't get the finish, because it will literally put me to sleep. But I still see him just doing an Izzy in that situation, just kind of dancing around, just toying with Bilal for 5 rounds, just winning by points.
I can definitely see that possibility as well, for sure. So, golf team, that will bring us back across the octagon to you here. Round 4, main event. Nobody's excited about it, but it's going to take place unless something drastic happens tomorrow. Leon Rocky Edwards taking on Bilal. What the fuck was his name? Mohammed. How do you think it shakes loose at the end of the evening, sir?
Well, what's the best way to put this? To quote South Park, for a fitting reason, making me choose between a giant douche and a turd sandwich is never a good idea, similar to what's going on in the current presidential election. Um, this is a shit show. I don't care who wins this. I'm hoping against all fucking odds that we get the mythical double knockout in a main event title fight, or for some odd reason, both of them end up with fucking the flu, start getting it tonight, and cannot compete on Saturday. And then we get the actual main event in Tommy Aspinall and Curtis Blades. I would be all right with that. I'm just saying. Now, do I think Bilal has a chance? No. If you watch his footage, the way he fights, he doesn't move his head off the center line enough. Leon's pretty straight down the pipe most of the time, and that little crosshead kick could come again. In fact, I would venture to guess that's probably the way that Bilal goes to sleep. On the plus side, then I won't have to listen to fucking Bilal bitch and whine anymore about, oh, it was an eye poke. Yeah, it's going to be a fucking head poke with a shin and a foot to the back of your fucking dome as it wraps around. But then, God knows he's going to fight it because it was a shot to the back of the head. Ball doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell, or Allah, or whatever it is that he prays to. I don't know. It doesn't fucking matter. I mean, all I can do is see you on the other side. Be something similar to you're sending in the funny man. If anybody catches that reference, he's the funny guy. Rule of thumb should have been the rule of the fucking wrist for him. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's a no-win situation for everybody involved. The UFC fans alike. The only people that will win in this situation is gonna be Europe if fucking Leon fucking wins. Those are the only winners. Everybody else who is an avid MMA fan loses, because we have to put up with both of their fucking bullshit.
Yeah, no, definitely agreed with that for damn sure. The only real positive potential outcome is if Leon lands a fucking big headshot, another fucking headshot, dead head kick, fucking keep the streak going, shut Bilal up, everybody in the fucking stadium goes home happy. Other than that, who fucking knows? But there's interesting things to be had Saturday evening for damn sure. So that being said, close scoring means up till this point we've been waiting. Judges scorecard as of right now, surprise, tied 2-2 means we go to round 5, sudden death overtime. And as you know, round 5 around here generally has absolutely nothing to do with the card that we're talking about here. So in this situation, Golf T, we let you go first, so I will give you the option. Would you like to continue to go first here? Would you like to make Christian go first on this one?
I'll let the kid go first. Fucking age before beauty.
All right. So, Christian, that means you get the first one for round 5 here. Now, Golf T's been waiting for this one, but he didn't know it was coming. So I'm catching both you fuckers off guard with this here. So round 5 for this week, more often than not, goes to the Post-it Notes of Fate. And this week is just a little bit different because this week we're not choosing from the Post-it Notes of Fate. This week, round 5's winner will be the person who gives us the best next question for a Post-it Note of fate. That's right. You have to come up with a question to go on a potential post-it note to be used in someone's future destiny. Christian, you get the first one here. So for you, sir, if you get the pen and the post-it notes, what would you choose to add to the wall of post-it notes of destiny as a round 5 question?
I got one that I feel like's decent just because of certain situations. Been coming up with the man, some tax issues, some legal issues with those tax issues. One of the greatest fighters of all time. He might need some money, and I'm gonna never let up on that hope and dream. So will we get Habib Nurmagomedov back in the UFC? That to me is a good question. Obviously, a lot of people would easily say no, but you never lose the love of what you've done for your entire life. Obviously, with the dude training and coaching his guys like he has the past few years. And now you're in some tough life situations. You might genuinely need some money. And you might just miss it. There's been a lot of rumors in the past year, more than we've heard since his retirement as well. Where there's smoke, sometimes there's fire. I like that one as a fucking question to potentially talk about in the future. Especially if the smoke keeps on smoking.
For sure. Definitely very, very potential fun one here as well, for sure. So that will flip us over to the other side of proverbial octagon here. Golf tee, the pen and the sticky notes could potentially be yours to determine the fate of a future pit episode, sir. So if you had the pen and the pad, what is your future round 5 question?
If this ever happens, what organization will Big Daddy Dana finally do a cross promotion with? Should that ever happen, which promotion and who would it be that would cause that to happen? What fight that would cause that to happen? Cross promotional MMA. I'm not talking the boxing bullshit we've already seen. I'm talking MMA. Whether it's PFL, Ryzen, One, fucking whoever. Who knows? Maybe Fight Circus. I'm just saying. Strange, weird shit out there. Just saying, I'd love to see a couple of fucking heavyweights put their foot in a tire and go at it.
Yeah, I've got to say I would pay whatever the fuck they asked me to see a pair of heavyweights strap on that fucking Siamese t-shirt and then take on Rampage and Bob Sapp in a fucking squared circle. I don't fucking care what they charge. Take my fucking card. I'm in. No, I've got to agree here. So round 5 for our potential futures, we've got, will Khabib come back to the UFC? Why or why not? And then who will Dana potentially cross promote with? Post-it notes of doom here. And the winner, officially on the board, Dana's cross promotion.
I like the Khabib question, man. I really do.
I absolutely agree. I
'Cause
think that Khabib
that's a
question is gonna come
solid
back up.
fucking. Does that fucking happen? Add that to the fucking board too. I'm willing to
gonna
call
say,
this
This
fucking
one's not getting
majority
thrown away.
draw.
It's just getting set over here to the side.
I'm calling
Well,
majority
your
draw.
question's damn good, brother. That's a good one to talk about. Just because I don't ever think it'll happen. It's similar to my question I came up with. Neither one will probably really ever happen happen, but both of them are great fucking things
That's
to
what I'm
talk
saying.
about.
I say majority draw here.
Well, I
I gotta
appreciate
say,
that. I still like your question better, and I'm just being honest. I was
I'm
like,
just-
I
oh,
was gonna say,
yeah,
I was gonna say,
he got me. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, fuck me.
we will absolutely give honorable mention here because that Khabib is a damn good question, and I am certain that topic will definitely get brought back up again, especially given the
And
news
that's
that
the
has come
only
to light
reason I
recently.
threw that out there is because there is the fuck Chael Sonnen. You know, like
Yeah.
I love the dude. He's crazy as fucking fun to listen to sometimes, but he is crazy as fucking half the time. He is not saying anything worth validity. But god damn it, I've been hearing so many other people talking about it too, and then seeing that news coming out this week, they're like he owes the 3.5 million. He's not being allowed to leave Russia right now. They're seizing his fucking house, all his cars.
Yep.
Brother
Lock this
probably
gym
needs some
down.
help, and I could see that. Like, if he really is in that bad of a time, Dana would fucking help. Here's the money to take care of your problems, so that you can get the
Yeah.
fuck out of Russia, get the fuck to America, and then I'll pay you even more money to fight again.
Right? Yeah. Move to
And
Vegas,
to
and we'll get this
train
all
you.
squared away.
He
Yeah.
ain't gonna
No
leave
shit.
Dagestan.
No, I was gonna say it would be a tempting offer, and it
Well,
would be a
fuck,
way to
dude,
save him,
the
but you know he
UFC needs
wouldn't
to
take it.
finally go to Russia so that we can make it happen.
No, it's
I
well
love
played by both you gentlemen for damn sure. Well played for sure. We are going to give the victory here to Golf T officially. Definite credit,
Hats
runner-up
off to
status
Christian.
on that fucking Khabib question. Definite well done on that one as well, sir. That being said, boys and girls, when this is done, tonight is not. Excuse me. When we wrap things up tonight, that is not the end of the fun because tomorrow morning, as in the case most Friday mornings, that gentleman over there, no, he's over there. There we go. That gentleman over there and his other half put out their podcast, Slow Bake and Contemplate, over there on Spreaker.com. Links to their podcast, as well as their social medias and their channel over on the I'm No Joe Discord server, all down below. Go check their shit out and tell them how awesome they are.
appreciate you, brother. Definitely going to be a fun one to fucking talk about. Got some pay per view fights, but fun never fucking stops. Once you get back to Hump Day, the best fucking day of the week, you got to make sure you tune into the brother Golf T's fucking YouTube channel. Golf T Vapes on YouTube, but he's got his own show called The Foggy Fairway. If you're into vapes, no different than the brothers. You want to learn some recipes, some mixes, or just chill, have a good fucking time. Pop in around 9:30 every Wednesday night. Give the brother some love. All of his other fucking links and everything should be in the description as well. You make sure you fucking check the brother shit out.
Thanks, sir. I'm still on hiatus, just as an FYI. I have not made a definitive comeback date. I'm pulling a John Jones here, unfortunately, but I'm not everybody's favorite, so that's okay. So I can do that shit. Now, if you aren't aware, Meter does more than just kick you punchies. The Meter does many things. In fact, down below, there's Linktree / the Meter does many things. Or you can do Linktree / I'm No Joe. That'll get you there too. To go find out all the wacky, wonderful things that the Meter does do. Go click on those links. Enjoy the hours of content that are there for you to just eat at your brain and learn some new shit along the way. Who knows? You might actually pick up a trick there, here or there. I don't know. You got to watch and find out. I'm not going to tell you.
Much appreciated, sir. That being said, that is all we have got for this particular episode. So if you enjoyed what we get up to around here, first and foremost, please leave us a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed and your notifications are turned on whatever platform you are picking this up on. We do the show pretty much every Thursday night before there are fights to talk about that weekend over here on youtube.com/at I'm No Joe. If you cannot or do not want to watch it live, I get it. We have mirrors as well. So fret not, mon ami. The week after we go live, the show goes up in the all audio format over on anchor.fm/I'm No Joe. You can get that your podcast consumption platform of choice. Google, Apple, Spotify, everywhere. We're all over, everywhere you want to be, other than MasterCard, apparently. You can pick us up. So make sure you are subscribed. notifications turned on, thumbs up, all that good shit. We appreciate it very much. On the other side of things, if you didn't enjoy what we get up to around here, first and foremost, what the fuck are you still doing this deep into a podcast you didn't enjoy? Give us a thumbs down and then go fuck yourself. We won't even dispute it. That being said, that's all we've got for this particular episode. During the fights, you can catch the live or the shorts tab over here on YouTube. They've moved it to a separate tab now. YouTube Shorts is its own little thing. I put up a reaction video showing the end finish and describing what happened for every major finish over the course of the weekend. So if you want to turn into a highlight show, you don't want to watch ESPN bullshit fucking coverage of nothing you like, just keep an eye over on the YouTube Shorts tab here for the I'm No Joe channel. You'll see all the great finishes. That being said, that is all we have got for this particular episode. Thank you very much for tuning in one way or the other. That is all we've got. So until next time, boys and girls, don't let ignorance stop you. You can root for anything. Unless you're rooting for being given a good choice. And then we're kind of fucked either way there.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening.
How do I say goodbye to what we had? The good times that made